Oh, hey folks. Alright, welcome back to another how-to episode. I was asked to do more videos like this, so this is another how to utilize features of your vehicle. The last one that I put out was in regards to turn signals. Very good feature. Very good. So today, to kind of go with the blinker, turn signal, directional, whichever you decide to call that one, handy feature. So here what we're going to do today, I'm going to show you two things that tie in with the turn signal. Okay, one key important item comes on all vehicles, standard equipment, no optional: mirrors. Okay, just say it with me: mirrors. So you've got a few different mirrors depending on the vehicle. Now some do not have the rear view mid-set mirror, okay? That's one in the middle. It's attached to the windshield. Some vehicles won't have that, such as cargo vans, also known as panel vans. No sense in having it because you can't see out the back anyways, in most cases. U-Haul trucks, any kind of a box truck, 18-wheelers. Those kinds of vehicles are not going to have that middle rear view mirror. However, you will still have your two side mirrors. Let me show you those. Okay folks, so here we have the driver's side rear view mirror. And then I'm going to shoot over here. We have the rear view mirror in the center. And then over here is the passenger side. That's the right side of the vehicle. That's the other rear view mirror. Okay, so now that we know where these particular features are located, known as mirrors, I stress that. So now that we've got an idea, okay, to the left, to the middle, to the right, depending on the vehicle. Now, I'm going to let you know what these are actually used for, because a lot of people seem to miss the intention of these particular features that come standard on every vehicle. So, what a mirror does is it gives you a view of what's behind, hence the rear view part of that. So, in other words, if you're changing lanes, if you're merging into another lane, those are two handy things to utilize a mirror for. The other that a lot of people also miss, this one, is when you're backing into a parking spot. You use the mirrors. There's another way to, back into a parking spot, and there's also another thing that's not a standard feature on a vehicle that I will go over here in a moment, that's tied in with the blinker, also with the mirrors. You notice I stress mirrors. There's an S. There's more than one. Also, some people miss that observation. So, with the mirrors, again, there are three, sometimes only two. Now, with the mirrors, that's good for backing up, changing lanes, merging. Another thing, some cars, more modern vehicles now, have a cool feature that I don't always rely on, but it's a backup camera, which is kind of like a mirror, but it's in the back, and it has a camera, and it shows what's behind you and even alerts you if there's danger. Caution or danger, there's someone or something behind you, which then you can relate back to your mirrors, which you should be using anyways. Now, the other thing that ties in with all of this, which is the turn signal, the mirrors, is blind spots, often missed by most drivers. Common problem. So with mirrors, you also use your blind spot. Now, a blind spot is an area that is outside of the vehicle on either the left or the right side that you can't see just by looking forward. You look in your mirror, you may not even see the particular person or vehicle. So, this is a visual demonstration, if you will, of how to check a blind spot. It's going to be behind you to the left, behind you to the right. Let me show you. If there's something to the left behind you in your blind spot, this is how you check it. See, you turn your head and sometimes your body, you know, depending on how you do it, and you look. Now, there's this thing on all sides of the vehicle. They're called windows. These. Clear. In most cases, some are tinted, but you can see through. Typically made out of glass. Then, to check your right blind spot, I know it's tricky. You got to keep up with me here. This is what you do. You look back this way, to the right and behind you. Also, as you can see, glass. It's called a window. Good for seeing through. They're transparent. That's the idea. Okay? Now, unfortunately, there are some vehicles where you do not have that option because it's like, say, for instance, a cargo van. You have solid wall, which is why you rely on your mirrors. We'll go back to that. See? Mirrors. Awesome. Glad you guys are keeping up with me. Hopefully. If not, you might have to watch it a few times, kind of soak it all in. So, blind spots. Now, the cool thing is some modern vehicles, most, have a nice feature called blind spot detection. Now, what this does, it automatically detects something or someone that's on the left or right side of you in a blind spot. Now, I don't always rely on that, but it is a good feature to kind of give you an idea there might be something there. It could be faulty equipment. You never know. That's why I always want to check the blind spot physically. Now, what'll happen is you'll see a blinking light, which means there's an approaching object, such as a motorcycle, bicyclist, runner, walker, jogger, or another vehicle of some sort other than a motorcycle. So you want to kind of keep aware. Okay, that thing is blinking. There's something approaching. Let me check back in my blind spot to see. Now, if it's a solid glowing light, whatever type of icon it may be, that means the vehicle is literally next to you, to where if you were to merge over, you would actually collide with that vehicle. We want to avoid that. That's the idea. See, a lot of misconceptions about driving is you want to avoid contact with other objects. The only thing you should come in contact with driving is the road and the air. You don't want to hit other things like signs, vehicles, pedestrians. Not good. This is why they have mirrors and the option to look in your blind spot. So hopefully everybody's kept up with me to this point. So there's going to be some more videos coming out. I do want to put on some how-to videos in regards to speed limits. I know they're weird to observe. A few possible other road signs, but functionality of the vehicle. You also have wipers, accelerator pedal, sometimes known as a gas pedal, but accelerator because it could be an electric vehicle which does not run on any kind of gasoline. So those are a couple things. Brake pedal, I might throw that one in there too. Kind of ties in with the accelerator. Often overlooked features of a vehicle. Okay, folks. So again, hopefully that helps. That covers mirrors and blind spots and also windows. The clear, transparent things made out of glass, typically. All right, folks, hope that helped. See you soon on the next how-to video and some other videos as well. All right, God bless. See you soon.